Namaste and welcome to this show, Sathology Debunking Mythology. This new episode, Sat means truth, Logos means a study or science, which is Latin word, Sat is a Sanskrit word, Sathology means science of truth or study of truth. Opposite of that is mythology, antonym. Myth means a fake lie or imagination. Mythology means a study of fake lie imagination. It's a big irony that the Western academics, my pet hitting target, is they call all the other histories as mythology. South American native history as mythology. Indian, and word was coined for India actually. The entire Vedic history as mythology, which they have been proved incorrect conclusively. Aryans never came from abroad. Aryans were in India. Arya is a Sanskrit word. And the even more funnier is Iranians call themselves Aryans. So they're technically saying they're Hindus, but they are not. So it's not a race word, it's a quality word. It means that what qualities you possess. Arya means a follower of righteousness, dharma, based on the Vedic literature. Very clear, based on the Vedic literature. You cannot call anyone else as Arya. So if an American follows Bhagavad Gita, then we'll call him Arya. But if he doesn't follow Bhagavad Gita, then he is a Caucasian, right? By the way, most people do not know Caucasian is a mountain range north of Iran. Most of the Americans do not know. So when they say Caucasian, so they're referring to themselves again from India. So who is Arya then? Anyway, I have a very, very special guest who has beautiful insights into all these different topics. And so without delay, let us welcome Sri Nitin Shukla from India.
Namaskar, everybody.
Namaskar. First of all, people love your voice, baritone, heavy voice.
Oh, thank you so much.
So Nitinji, what is the change India has seen since 2014, according to you?
India is coming out of depression, the state of depression that we were having. We are now coming out of it. Like you are debunking myths. It is a sathology, opposite of mythology. So similarly, we were previously India was more depressed. Everybody was like, "Kuch nahi ho sakta." That means nothing can happen. So now things are changing in India. Now from kuch nahi ho sakta, nothing can happen or nothing good can happen. Now they have come up with a new confidence. They've come up with a new idea of life, and that is, yes, we can and we'll do. So that's the difference. And they are doing it. They are doing it brilliantly. Whether it is a Mangalyaan Mars mission or whether it is Chandrayaan moon mission, we have done it all, and we have done it at a cost of 1/10 of the world's costing. So definitely, India is coming up a big way in all the fields, not just in space research. If you call it like vaccines, we have produced vaccines. We are giving the vaccines to the world. Previously, we were only takers. India were seen as India, the country was always seen as they are the takers. They'll always be here to ask for something. Now it is changed. The view has definitely changed a lot, because now we are giving out things. We are giving out free medicines, whether it is hydroxychloroquine, we have given it to the world. Whether it is vaccines, we are giving it to the world. We are giving it for free. So things have changed. India is, what do you call superpower? A superpower is the one who helps others, not the one who dictates others. That is the difference between what we think superpower is. So according to me, India has become a superpower since 2014. It was a long way, because coming out of depressed state and coming to a state where you are leading the world, it takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of difference. Definitely, Mr. Modi has a lot of courage. He has changed the systems which nobody would have dared to touch. So we are changing our education system. We are changing so many things. History which was written wrongfully is being changed in India. Now the whole concentration of the government is to put up the right history. So there are left-wing people who are cribbling, who are crying out of it. But overall, India has come a long, long way from 14 to current situation. There's a long, long way. Whether you talk about infrastructure, whether you talk about anything else, whether you talk about electricity, there were power cuts. Now there are no more power cuts. The huge power gap was demolished because there was a power and supply gap. That was now there is no power supply gap. So the things have started moving. Like there was nobody actually. India is a very big country. Nobody thought about connecting the villages. Mr. Modi has connected more than 3,65,000 villages. 3,65,000 villages. So it takes a lot of courage to connect them with all your internet, electricity, and everything. Now they have as good as internet as these people are having who are living in cities. They are having the same infrastructure. They're having the same backbone. They are having that same fiber connection. So things have changed. A lot of things have changed, but there are people who will still try to defame the Indian government. They will still try to defame India on every part. Like you have seen, there's one so-called reporter was there, Mr. Siddiqui, who got killed by Afghanistan. So he used to circulate so many pictures, but the fact remains fact. World over, if you talk about COVID, India has the least mortality rate. I'll repeat. So this proves how we are working. This proves how India has changed. This proves how India has come up a long way. And now, even after pandemic, we are recovering. Economy is recovering very well. So hats off to all the Indians. Hats off to all the doctors, to the paramedical staff, to all the medical staff. They have done great job. They have been working 24/7 since last 1.5 years without complaining. And mind it, let me tell you here, we have the least mortality rate and we have the worst medical infrastructure. If you'll compare it with US or anybody else, now we are coming up with a good infrastructure, this thing. So things have changed. With the least available resources, we have given our best to the world.
Earlier, there was coined a phrase called the Hindu rate of growth. And we have seen in 57 Islamic countries who are living on the doleouts of American agencies. I would not take any specific name, but a lot of agencies are involved. And without their and they are supposed to be very rich, some of them. But most of those countries are a failure, 98%.
Yeah.
1 or 2% are successful because of US, not because of anything else. So most of those countries, they look up to US as a messiah. And for them, anything American is golden. And virtually they have destroyed their own lands. So literally looks like the Hindu rate of growth was a propaganda or to defame Hindus generally. What do you see? Most of at least I'll tell you one statistics. 1 in 7 doctors in US is an Indian. So how do you debunk that theory completely in your own words, in your understanding?
I think it's better to come to the statistics straight away. Hindus are having a growth rate in minus. They are having a growth rate in minus. Whereas if you take some other community, the second largest community, which is Muslims in India, they are growing at a pace of 6 times as compared to Hindus. Number one. Number two, even then, they are not able to produce quality citizens. They are not able to produce engineers, doctors, research fellows. They are not able to produce them. It is only Hindus who are in all these fields. You'll find most of the Hindus working for the nation, not against the nation. Those countries who are thinking that US is their messiah, they should better understand that wherever US has gone, to whichever country US has helped, it is a history, you can check it out. They have destroyed those nations. That is a fact. And I'm sorry to say that, but that is a fact. Fact remains, whenever India is in friendship with any of the nation, they have always helped them out with whatever possible means they have. Second, like US is helping so many countries, India is coming up like anything. Now, when Mr. Modi came into power, there was not even a single mobile manufacturer in India. Not even a single one mobile manufacturer in 2014 when he took the charge. Today, we have more than 250 mobile manufacturers in India. More than 250. Even Foxconn, your Apple, your favorite phone, that is also being manufactured in India now. So it is a proud moment for us, and we should thank the world that they are coming and taking this Make in India as a success story. So definitely government is doing their part. World is with us. We are moving forward. Tomorrow belongs to India. And tomorrow is going to be India's day. So whether they like it or not, India is coming up in huge way, not with power, not with muscle power, not with missiles, not with bombs and wars, but we are coming up with love. We are coming up with open arms. We are coming up with friendship. We are here to serve the people of the world, not just India. We are serving the people. You have seen it. Even the smallest country who never dreamt that they will be getting the vaccines, they are getting vaccines manufactured in India. They are getting everything. And what are we getting in return? I'm very sorry to say the current government of US, they are very negative. They try to stop the raw material for the vaccines. How inhuman can you get? How inhuman can Biden administration can get? I'm very sorry to say. You should never be acting like this. No, even then, after some time, they realized their mistake, and in few days only, they removed the restriction. But it should have not happened at the first place. But still, we would like to have very good relations, like we were having previously with the US. We would like to go further, like US is getting out of Afghanistan. That is a huge cause of concern for the whole of the Asia, not just for India. So there are some concerns. I guess it would have been better if US would have been staying there for a few more years. That was primarily what very important. Now, as you can see, Taliban is taking over. So it is responsibility not just of one country, but of all the countries combined, that we have to maintain peace and harmony throughout the world. This world is too small. One war can trigger a world war. And if there is a world war, we all know no country will be safe, because now everybody has a nuke power. Everybody is a nuclear power because it is easily available. Forget about every country. Even ISIS is having a nuclear power now. They are also planning to create nuclear bombs. So it is of our prime importance. Most important thing, apart from business, apart from anything else, is peace and harmony of the world. We are supposed to implement whatever resources we are having to maintain peace and harmony at any cost, even if it is a cost of war, like US did in Afghanistan. So that was required. It was the call of the time. So we have to do that. Again, I'll say future belongs to India.
So when I mentioned Hindu rate of growth was mostly in the economic sense, but you touched in different point altogether. So the Hindu rate of growth was said in the terms of economics. So I think it was one of the prime ministers said the country is poor because of Hindus. Somebody, Jawaharlal Nehru said, or I don't know who said it, but somebody said it. So some of the viewers who can do fact check and let me know who said it. So this is a trivia for you too. So the points that you mentioned is very correct. Like the American intervention in Vietnam, Afghanistan, 20 years, and you said it's a regional instability. There is a mindset in the West. The West understands the military. They do not understand anything else. There is a mindset that they can intervene anywhere they go. Even a small country like Great Britain, it has only 2 nuclear submarines and one recently commissioned aircraft carrier, and which is Queen Elizabeth. Is very unique. You can see it from, I think, space also. It's because it has got 2 towers, and they are sailing in India, going to China. They have only 2 ships and going to China, and like there is a mindset of going freely and showing whatever they have. And the world is not scared of it because they know they cannot come in, but there is a mindset over there. In India, the mindset is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the whole world is one family, we are here. But the world doesn't understand that. I'm speaking from USA, and I see what they think, and India is thinking in a different way. In America, they think jiski lathi uski bhais. It's literally their thought processes. So do you think India needs to have a reset of the mind as well? And I really commend the work. Since 2014, India has grown stronger and stronger and stronger. So what do you have to say on that?
If every other nation adapts the same mentality what US is having, then there will be a world war. because everybody would be, like jiski lathi uski bhain, so everybody will be having a lathi in his hands. Everybody would try to dictate their terms on the other country. We have seen this, we have been seeing this since a long time, that US is definitely trying to dictate his terms on all over the countries, whosoever it can. It tried to dictate India in previous years, in some previous decades, you'll see. But India was never taking any such instructions from anybody, whether it is US or USSR, whosoever it is. We have been a sovereign country. We have our own power. We have never showed that power. But the fact remains that whenever we have gone into the war, we have won. The fact remains. Only except one war where it was already told to the Prime Minister by the Chief of Army Staff that we are not supposed to go to the war because we are not prepared. That war was with China. Eventually, we lost lives, we lost land. So that is a history. That was a mistake that was committed. But now, same China, they are crippling and crying because of India, because there's a huge formation of Indian personals. It is not the same India. As we can see, as there's a very hugely popular dialogue. ये पहले वाला भारत नहीं है, भारत बदल चुका है, ये घर में घुसकर मारता है. Prime Minister Modi, when the attack in Pulwama happened, he said in a public rally, he said, हम घर में घुसकर मारेंगे. We'll come to your house, we'll get into your house and we'll kill you. He did the same thing. He went all along to Balakot, made the air strikes happen, made the surgical strikes happen twice, not just once. And even when Abhinandan was captured, India was all set. India was all set to go into a full-scale war. And Pakistan knew it. So they handed him over back to India. This has never happened. Previously, they used to cut the throats and they used to play football with the Indian soldiers' heads. That we have seen. They have been not following any of the rules, any international rules, no Geneva Convention, nothing doing. Now they are following everything. So no, definitely, if you have power, you need to prove it to the world. We are proving it to the world, but not with the muscle power. We are proving we are stronger, not to rule anybody. We are stronger to help the world out. This is entirely a different story. Like we say, sabka kalyan ho, praniyon mein sadbhav ho. We are not only talking about friendship between humans to humans. We are talking about friendship with trees. We are talking about friendship with animals. We are talking about friendship with the nature. And India, Hindu culture is the only culture which can save this world. Now you are coming up with all these things. Oxygen come, oh my God, oxygen level is depleting. Ozone layer is depleting. We have to save it. Plant trees. We are doing it since not centuries, but since thousands of years. Since 14,000 years, we have been promoting tree plantation. We have been praying to trees. हमारे यहाँ पूजा होती है पेड़ों की. तमाम सारे ऐसे अलग अलग मौके आते हैं. There are so many festivals which are based on trees in itself. So the world, America is going towards, the way they are going towards to lead the world, it is a destructive manner. It is not acceptable. It is a destructive manner. The world will go towards destruction. Whereas if you'll study Hinduism, if you'll study Sanatan Dharma, you'll come to know how you can bring peace. India is the only country which has never attacked any country in the world. It is only that India was attacked by Mughals, not once, but hundreds of times. Only one ruler who defeated the Mughals 16 times, he forgave him 16 times. He never killed the other person, because war was not to kill anybody, but to prove your might. And we have proved our might time and again. Whenever Hindu rulers were killed, whenever they were captured, it was all done धोखे से. कभी भी सही ढंग से युद्ध लड़के नहीं आ पाए. So this proves that there are two kind of theories which you can. There is one, pressure tactics, which US is using since a long time. That is their strategy. There is the other one, the tactics of love. India is moving on that path. We are on the path of love. We are making friends. We are helping everybody. Smallest of small country. We are with them. We are helping them out in whichever manner we can help. We are helping them out, whether it is pandemic or whether it is normal days. We are helping them out in technology. We are helping them out in every other aspect. I still remember there was a time when India needed GPS location during Kargil war, and US refused to give the GPS location. Today we have our own GPS system, and I'm very happy to say that India provides this free GPS location to anybody, any country they ask. We have our own vaccination app that is called CoWIN. Now, more than 52 countries are using this app. We have made it, source. It's open source. We have made it open source. So anybody and everybody can use it and modify it according to their needs. So this is how India wins hearts. India doesn't win land. We win hearts. And the way US is going, they are just trying to win lands. Winning lands will not bring peace. I'm sorry to say.
There is a large movement in the US, obviously inspired by the Islamic groups against Hindus. It was never there before. Before, it used to be Indians were considered more on professional grounds, being doctors and scientists and engineers and businessmen. But now the Democrats and other people, they view Hindus from an Islamic eyes. Islam has always, like this is happening very commonly. And the word caste, like what Herbert Hope Risley did in India in 1901, in the 1901 census, he instituted caste system, 7 upper castes and then lower castes, was done by Herbert Hope Risley. Same thing is being done in the US. So there are two advantages to that also. First of all, they're officially bringing Sanatan Dharma in the US, number one. So that's a drawback. They don't know what they're doing. So I can say it so that they are aware of it. So they're bringing Sanatan Dharma officially in. So now every American will also have a caste. So word caste is a Portuguese word. It has nothing to do with India. India has a Varna and ashram system. So anyway, it's a European caste system they're bringing in the US. So looks like a beginning of disappearance of US now, beginning. And you'll see more and more states. But this is officially being done in the hatred of Hindus generally. And it has become a systemic problem in the US, getting more serious day by day. Like every other day, you'll see some or the other state banning yoga. So they're actually making Americans, I always say, American media makes Americans dumber day by day. So it's a classical case. So it is India's responsibility also. Like the Prime Minister of India made International Yoga Day on June 21st, which is celebrated all over the world except the US. So is there more responsibility, more things that can be done by the Indian missions in the US? There are around 7 or 8 consulates in the US. Can they do more to counter this social or political campaigns?
First of all, let me start with the caste system of US, which is they are bringing in. I'm very happy that they are afraid, that they are scared. They are scared of Hindus. They are afraid of Hindus. And what is Hinduism? Hinduism is a way of life. So they are scared of way of life. So what do they want? They want this anarchy to happen, what we have seen in capital. They want the same thing happening throughout the world. We have seen what BLM people are doing. Whenever, in any part of the world, wherever you go, you'll find Muslims accusing Hindus. For what? They have killed us. They are not killing us today. They have killed us in the past. They have killed us for centuries. They have killed us for no rhyme or reason. They have killed us for us being a Hindu. Being a Hindu, is it a crime? I ask a very simple question. What is there in yoga which is supposed to be banned? If there is something supposed to be banned, then it is that book which tells you to become a terrorist. Why don't you ban ISIS? Why don't you ban the book that says slit the throat of non-believers? Why don't you ban that book? Do you have the courage? I take on President Biden. Do you have the courage? I take on the President administration of US. Do you have the courage to ban that book that asks to slit the throat of other people who do not follow your ideology. I, being a Hindu, I do not believe in anybody else except my own God. That is Bhagwan, Lord Krishna, Lord Ram. I do not believe in anybody else. I'm not supposed to believe in anybody else. So is it a crime? Why everybody is after Hindus? Why everybody is after yoga? What is yoga? They don't preach Hinduism. Yoga has nothing to do with Hinduism. Yoga, definitely, it came out from Hinduism. It is a Sanatan practice. What practice is it? It is your physique. It definitely goes to your physique. They promote your physical wellness. So you're against that. Why? Because it is being promoted by Hindus. Why there is so much of hate towards Hindu? Why they are filled with Hindu hatred? Why they are anti-Hindu people? Hindus are also humans. They have all the rights to live. They have all the rights to be the most important part. If there is anyone secular in this world, if there is any religion, first of all, Hinduism is not a religion, it is a dharma. If there is anyone, any person who is secular, who is truly secular, it is one and only one, that is Hindu. No other person is secular, because they say only our God, Almighty, the most powerful, He is the only one. Then they say, the other one will say, those who do not believe, those who are non-believers, they are kafirs. It is kufur. So kill them. Hindus are the only ones. They never say that you have to worship our gods. We never say that. We never say that there should be temples. Your preaching, your worshipping can be in any mode, any form. It doesn't make any difference. The only peaceful religion is Hinduism, which promotes peace, harmony, not only amongst the humans, but whosoever, but amongst all the living beings. Number one. Number two, we are not here to fight with anyone. Why they are so scared? Why they are promoting this caste system? There is no caste system. If there was a caste system, Rishi Valmiki, he became Maharishi. Who is Valmiki? As per the caste system, they come in scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. They are the reserved categories in India. But if you'll see, there are so many Maharishis who became Maharishi. So basically what happens? Varna has been misinterpreted into caste. And what is Varna? Varna keeps changing according to your actions. So the way you work is Varna. You can change your Varna. And moreover, more importantly, they say there are scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. There are so many castes which are scheduled castes. What is scheduled caste? They say Shudra are scheduled caste. I beg to differ. As per Hinduism, every living being which is born, they are born Shudras. Even if you are a Brahmin, you are a born Shudra. With your efforts, with your actions, you decide your Varna. If you're doing a good job, if you're into an army, you'll become Kshatriya. If you're doing a job of teaching, or you're promoting your religion, or you're doing some kind of preaching kind of thing, then you are a Brahmin. So this is how it happened. And because of this, British invasion, they have tried to change the history of India, which is now we are coming back with the original history. So what they have done, they came here, they conquered India. That too, again, that same thing. They could not conquer in a right way, so it was all in a wrong way. So then what they needed to do when they were going, they simply put in so much of their effort, they put a wrong history in front of you. They did the same thing in 1920 with the Sikhs. They changed their history. And today, what is this Khalistan movement? The root cause lies with the history, with the changed history, what in 1920, what Britishers did. So these things are happening, but overall, whenever we'll see towards the world, whenever the world see towards us, we are not here to fight with anybody. We are not here to convert anybody. We are not here to pressurize anybody. We are not here to, to give any kind of hefty amounts to anybody to get converted. We are here for peace. We are here for love. We are giving love to the people. We are loving animals. Just imagine, Hindus are the community which even worship cobra, snake. We worship cows, we worship snakes, we worship everyone. We worship Varha, we worship everyone. So what does it teach? It teaches to be in harmony with everyone. We are not the ones who are after anybody because of their color, caste, or creed. Hindus were never like that. Hindus are not like that. Hindus are always working for the betterment of this world, for the betterment of this earth. But what we are getting in return? We are getting in return hate. And whose hate? The same left wingers, leftist ideology. Why they are hating so much? Because they don't have anything in their core. They don't have anything to promote themselves. So what they have to promote? They have hate to promote towards Hindus. Their new target is Hindus. What will happen after Hindus? Whom will you hate? Because your ideology is based on hate. Sometimes you hate someone, sometimes you hate someone else. You believe in pulling down the statues. You believe in making the world come down to its knees. For what? We are not such a community. And we do not believe in such communities. Even if somebody does wrong to us, we never ask for, for their, we never compel them to say sorry. We forgive them. We forget and we move forward. The land where you can see Afghanistan is there, Pakistan is there, Bangladesh is there, Cambodia is there. That land belongs to Hindus. That land was our land. We have been removed from those lands. We have been butchered mercilessly. We have been killed for no rhyme or reason. We have been killed because we were Hindus. Same thing is happening everywhere. In Afghanistan, they are fighting now within themselves. Where is this hate going to take you? It will make you Afghanistan. It will make you Syria. It will make you Iraq. India was prospering. India was a golden bird. India is still progressing. I'll again say, tomorrow belongs to India. No matter how much you hate Hindus, no matter how much you hate yoga, no matter how much you hate anything. What happened? What is the problem with yoga? I literally don't understand. Just because it came out from a Hindu society, you're so against it. You should not practice it. But why there is a need to ban it? Yoga doesn't preach you to take guns, to take up arms. It doesn't preach you like that. Then what is the problem? I don't understand. I think it is better for the left-wingers, it is better for the administration, it is better for the US to think over it again. What you are making your country, we can see lootings in every part of US. We can see what is happening in New York. We can see what is happening in Texas. We can see what is happening in other part of US. But that is their internal matter. We will not like to comment. But you should better. I'll request all the Americans to please look into your state of affairs from where you started and where you are going. Look into the state of affairs in India, where we started in 2014. There was a prime minister who said the first right on natural resources of this country belongs to Muslims. And where we are today. Today, everybody, we are making a collaborative efforts in every field. So there is a huge difference between their ideology and our ideology. I'll request all the Americans to please read Hinduism. Please read what Hindu is and please act accordingly. Because until unless you read Hinduism, you'll never be able to understand what is the core of Hinduism. The core of Hinduism is love, peace, harmony. Where is this movement taking you? Where are all these movements taking you? This BLM, this other movements, they are just telling you how to loot the shops, how to loot the malls, how to kill people. Are we going to be safe in such a world? I don't think so.
Nitinji, you said many important points over there. One of the things was the word secular. The word secular means anti-church, actually. That's the actual meaning. So that was to keep church out of the power, because wherever church went, it created poverty. Look at the South America, look at Philippines, look at any country where the church is ruling, including African countries. There's a joke Desmond Tutu once said, earlier they had the Bible, we had the land. Now we have the Bible, they have the land. It's a Desmond Tutu has said. So the word secular means keeping church out of the power. That's a secular word means. So, so when the American says it's a Judeo-Christian country, it is mostly the past glories, or I don't know, fantasies. I would say fantasies. Okay, but if they anyone who says that must remember that the U.S. is rich despite the church. It's not with the church, you know, and the same thing is the UK also. And I'm speaking with all history. The American Constitution was given by Iroquois tribe. They handed over the American Constitution to them. So the Constitution of the United States is built on the values of Native Americans, which most Americans have forgotten. It was an irony that in 1924, European settlers gave American citizenship to American natives. And most of the people don't know that, the facts. And the so when we talk about Sanatan Dharma or Hinduism or Hindutva, I like the word Hindu-ness better than any of these words, because Hindu-ness is what exactly what we're
Yeah.
saying.
Mm-hmm.
It is the most, like you said it very accurately, it's the most environmentally friendly uh, system. And uh, and the Americans are talking about a Green Deal. The origins of the BLM movement are in the very destructive exploitation of Africans who were brought in the US as slaves, and the frustration is coming out on the streets as BLM. And
Yeah.
most of the people, they don't understand. And but I'm saying it's a civilization of exploitation. So the new word has come in the US is white supremacist, which is
Yeah.
launched by the left wing, liberal
Mm.
wing. And
Yeah.
again, it is going back to the colonial era. Like wherever, like when we started the talk, 1979 is the time when the US started intervening in the Middle East. And we saw the Islamic Revolution, and the US gave arms to Islamic Revolution to fight. And so all the American arms were being used. So my question to you is, we have seen this history. Now people are coming out and speaking more openly about it, and
Mm.
then more clearly pointing out the faults in, like when Jamaica asks UK for reparation for colonizing them and using them as slaves. It is a very valid demand. India
Mm.
has been the leader of non-aligned movement. India is the one who brought, Mahatma Gandhi led the revolution of freeing South Africa. Like again, we see that there. Today, there is a need for native cultures to come up. Like, for example, South American language was not Spanish. Like majority of the countries, except one Portuguese, there's one Portuguese country, but most of them are Spanish speaking countries. That was not the original language. So there was a diktat over there by the church. If you do not convert, you'll be killed. And that's what they did. 250 million native South Americans were killed. 110 million Native Americans were killed, so called. Americans means Canada and USA. And I'm not even talking about Mexico right now. And we just found out the graves of children who were, according to the Christian pastors, not perfect Christians. They were graves, they're killed. Now, money is much more things like that come. So India in the past has taken leadership for protecting South Africa, protecting non-aligned movement, protecting the rest of the world from the Cold War. That was a very intelligent strategy. I still approve of it. But today there is a need to protect the native cultures, and where people, there is no other country which the world can look up to, which is India. There's no other country. So, is there anything that needs to be done according to you, or what is your thought process on this?
I guess rather than relying on the government for everything, it is for us as Indian, as a Hindu, that we should take care of these small aspects. Like we are not so proactive. We are only, as far as Hindus are concerned, they are only concerned about their own family. Which is their family? Husband, wife, and kids. That's it. So that nuclear family concept is gripping Hindus, and actually it is killing Hindus. What happens in a nuclear family? You have a wife, you'll have one or two kids. If you have one or two kids, you have actually killed Hinduism, because now there will be no chacha, no tau, no masi, no bua. So where are we leading towards? Whenever anybody says that you should go for a family planning or you should go like that, I have seen there are many places in US. They are now producing 5 kids, 4 kids, 5 kids, 6 kids. In many parts of the US, I've seen. They are waking up. When will Hindus wake up? This is the number one point. First of all, you have to save yourself. And to save yourself, it is very important that you have to save your generations. Why are you killing your generations in the womb? So don't kill them. This is the first point. Number 2, what the world is looking us as a Masiha or as a champion. Definitely, there is a place for Hinduism has place. Not Hinduism, the word you used. So, like, it has such a huge dimensions. Hindu, Sanatani, it has such a huge dimensions. You can be of any caste, creed. Your color can be anything. Your process of worship can be different, but still you can be a Hindu. And what is Hindu? Live and let live is Hindu, is Sanatani. So definitely we are already into that. We have been practicing this since ages. Now the time has come that India should cross the boundaries. Now the time has come, not by force. I'm not talking about by force. Yes, we can do it. We can definitely do it. Our forces are very much capable. They are more than capable. They have proved their might time and again. But we are not going to do that, because we don't believe in winning the lands. We believe in winning the hearts. The time has come when we should stop looking toward the government. Governments will come and go. Your religion, your Sanatan Dharma is not based on governments. Every Hindu in any part of the world, it is your duty to spread Hinduism, to spread your religion, to spread your preaching, to spread your teachings. The point is, Hindu doesn't himself know what to do. They even don't know how to perform a puja properly. They don't know how Hinduism is a way of life. They have forgotten the way of life. Nightlife has taken the place. Getting up early has gone long back. But it has a scientific evidence. Why you should get up early? How to perform certain pujas? Why to perform a puja? On which occasion to perform a puja? This you have to understand. Every Hindu. We are Hindus for a namesake. We are nominal Hindus. We are not proper Hindus, because proper Hindu perform their daily activities according to the Hinduism. And what Hinduism teach? Hinduism teach not to kill an ant. एक चींटी भी नहीं मारनी है. This is Hinduism. They should better understand what is Hinduism. एक धर्म जो एक चींटी को भी नहीं मारने की बात करता है, उससे इतना डर लगता है कि योगा को बैन करना पड़ता है. They are so much afraid. What for? Because they know their religion is without the core. Their religion is based on wars, is based on arms, is based on talwar. So when your religion is based on arms, when your religion is based on force, sooner or later it will collapse. There are so many people, those who are coming from abroad, they never go back. They convert to Hinduism. Nobody gives them money. Nobody lures them. Forget about anything. Forget about the lure. Nobody even asks them to convert themselves to Hindus. Not even a single Hindu in his entire lifetime has asked any non-Hindu to convert into Hindu. You can have a voting, even in your US. Now the time has come when Hindus are supposed to let the world know what is Hinduism, what is Hindu religion, what is Hindu dharma, why you should. There's only one path which leads to God. There's only one path which leads to the truth. There's only one path which leads to peace, harmony, friendship, and that is Hinduism. If you are having something, and if the other person is not having that same thing, like I'll say, I'll give you one example. If I'm having food and if you are hungry, and if I don't give it to you, What am I doing? Is it the right thing I'm doing? No, I'm not doing the right thing. If I have the food, if you're hungry, I'm supposed to feed you. This is humanity. Similarly, if you are having the right path to reach the God, and if you are not telling that right path to the other people, those who are not having that knowledge, those who are blindfolded, if you are not letting them see what reality is, what truth is, what the path of truth is, what Hinduism is, you are again committing a crime. It is your duty, your foremost duty. Every Sunday, Saturday, you should take out time. I'm here, I'm addressing all the Hindus throughout the world. Every Saturday and Sunday, please take out time. Please educate yourself. Please educate your children. Please educate your neighbor. Please educate your neighbor. Whosoever it may be. It might be Christian, it might be Muslim, it might be anybody. Give them books, give them textbooks. Buy them and give them for free. Let them read. Then ask them questions. But for that, you'll have to read yourself first. So please, this life is too short. It is a huge mission left out there. God is watching you. Lord Krishna is watching you. Lord Ram is watching you. It took almost 500 years. It took 500 years just to build one temple. One temple. In our own country, when our own government are there, when we are in majority, we are 100 crores of people. Still, what we were waiting for? We were waiting for the right path. We were waiting for the government. We were waiting for the constitution. We were waiting for the courts to clear the matter. We never built it forcefully. Whereas on the other part, if you'll see any of the religion, they are building up their places of worship forcefully. We have never done that. In our own country, in our own house, in our own home, in our own homeland, we were waiting for the court to give directions that this temple can be built here after 500 years. So this is how tolerant we are. This is how law abiding we are. This is what is preached to every Hindu. I'm not asking anybody to break the laws. I'm again asking you to follow the laws. All I'm asking you is please try to please try to preach Hinduism to your neighborhood, to your neighbors, whosoever they may be. Please try to do this. This is the only way to peace. This is the only way to truth. This is the only way to harmony.
Many good points you made. In one of the books I wrote, the Narad, the Making of a Statesman, Narad Muni asks Yudhishthir that, do you constantly invade adharmic countries to install dharma for the peace and prosperity of those lands? Are your armies always ready? And Yudhishthir says yes. So in the 36 years that he ruled after the Mahabharat war, there was never a single day where Arjun did not go into some land to install dharma. Dharma also means law and righteousness, something what is right. So the armies were, the world understands that language. Not everybody is going to talk about Dharma Shastra, that you can only talk in Kashi. You have to talk between civilized people. And to a Taliban, you're not going to talk Dharma Shastra because they're going to eat you. You're not going to go in front of a lion or a tiger and talk to him about peace. He's going to just eat you. So the one of the aspects of dharma, like if you look at the word Ayodhya means that cannot be conquered militarily.
Yeah.
And so the ultra peace thing which was being taught only to Hindus, nobody else. No, it was taught to only to Hindus, that you have to be, was started mostly in the Islamic and the British era, where Hindus were unarmed, like de-armed. Mahabharat was banned, and till date we are being, and many of the paid stooges of the British Empire told the Indians that keeping Mahabharat in the house creates quarrels or clash. This is all. Yeah. So Bhagavad Gita is in the middle of Mahabharat. the 6 books of Mahabharata by Gita Press, Bhagavad Gita is in the third book, right in the middle. So, do not keep Bhagavad Gita also in the house, because it gives you strength. So the aspect of de-arming by the mindset, tolerance. Now, tolerate is a very negative word. If I were to tell you, Nitin ji, I'm tolerating you right now, you will not like me, because I'm actually telling you that I actually hate you, but I'm just tolerating you
Exactly.
because you're in front of me.
Mm.
When we say Sarva Dharma Sambhav, first of all, we are talking about only dharma here. We are not talking everybody. The mat
Mm.
is not dharma. So what we are saying is that all the logical people, we want to have a good relations with them. But for illogical people, I have another arm. Okay, for them, we have other arm. So the aspect is not being taught properly. Still, the colonized versions we are teaching ourselves again and again. And when we are taking pride that we have never attacked somebody, but it is your duty to create peace or force a peace. Give you an example. Naxalite movement in India, very illogical, unnecessary, barbaric, and there were some wrongs being done during the British time, but not in the current times. So you have to use force over there, otherwise it is not going to resolve any matter. Kashmir, and I hope and pray that POK, Gilgit Baltistan again becomes a part of India, because people want it over there. Dharma is missing. There's no law. Another meaning of dharma is law. So that weakness of mind of the Hindus, which is the colonized impact from the 12th century onwards. Now, just give you an example. Many of the people, they celebrate Babur. Babur was scared to move south of Vindhyachal. Everybody knows. First of all, he hated India. He wanted every 2 years he went out of India, because he thought he's amongst the black people, dark people, very racist mindset, ugly looking people according to him. And he always wanted to go back to Uzbekistan, wherever he came from. Now, he was scared to go south because of Cholas. Cholas were a very formidable army. Even during the 8th and 9th century, 8th and 13th century, Chalukyas and Pallavas, nobody dared to touch them, because the armies were so well organized. And the only time they were broken was by the British, where the British traded them, gave them money to break the ranks. So this mindset of Hindus, which is colonized mindset today, which is the weakness, how do you see this being changed? The narrative has to be changed.
There are many people who are coming up with this, the right idea of Hinduism. And the right idea is, when we say right idea, what is the right idea? Shastra and Shastra go hand in hand. In one hand, you have book. In the other hand, you are armed. Not even a single Hindu god is without arms. They are all armed. Whether it is Mahadev, whether it is Ram, whether it is Krishna, whether it is anybody, all of them are armed. Now, why they are armed? Again, for the same thing you said. For the implementation of dharma. What is dharma? For the implementation of rule, law and order. That is dharma. So when we have to implement law and order, we have to be very strict. You are very right when you say that we have been misinterpreted, we have been taught all wrong things about it, about the Indian culture, about the Hindu religion, about the Sanatan Dharma. They say, ahimsa parmo dharma. Who will tell the complete shlok? Because we never speak half sloks. It is a half one. Who will complete it? Ahimsa parmo dharma, dharma hinsa tathevacha. So you have to implement that. This is your prime duty as a Hindu. Your duty is not to earn. Your duty is to implement the rule of law wherever you are, whenever you are, in which condition you are. If you are not able to implement it by force, first of all, you have to ask them politely. You have to make them understand. There are many people who understand. Then there are many people who don't understand. There are Talibanis who don't understand. There are Pakistanis who don't understand. There are terrorists who don't understand. For them, rule of law will prevail. For them, dharma hinsa tathaiva cha will prevail. For them, it is very important for us to neutralize such people who are danger for the humanity. We cannot let them live. Rules which we make, there are so many people, there are so many American organizations, so many American NGOs that are working in India. They try to interfere with the new rules that we are trying to implement, we are trying to make. It is a majority government. It has come up with all the majority we have given them. They are not a minority government. They have all the rights to create such laws. We have all the rights. And the way they project things, they project in such a manner that even a person who is an elected person, who came from an elected body, election commission, who is an elected representative of the people, even he is scared. And I don't think it is time for us to be scared anymore. It is the time has come that we should change the gears. Time has come when we should implement our laws. Time has come when we should implement it forcefully and sometimes ruthlessly. The law should prevail, the order should prevail. And that is what your ex-president was always telling, law and order. I saw his tweets. What happened? He was banned by your very own company, very own private company. A private company banned the president of the most powerful country. Such a shame on the United States of America. What a shame. What a shame. This is not democracy. This is not freedom of speech. They have killed the freedom of speech in the name of freedom of speech. This is what they are doing throughout the world. In India, they took Constitution of India into their hands. And then they went on rampage. They went on rioting. They killed Hindus like anything. Delhi was not a riot. Delhi was a Hindu massacre. So things are there. Now, if there are some parts in India, in the world, where you need to be strict, where law and order is supposed to be implemented, that should be implemented with all the force, without thinking twice. And the time has come when we should stop thinking like that. That old-fashioned thing which was told to us, no, you cannot go and you cannot kill anybody. We are not killing anybody. We are neutralizing those who are killing innocent people. We are neutralizing those who are danger to the society. And it is very important. This is Raj Dharma. This is Raj Dharma. Any ruler in the world, it is his duty to save innocent people. And that should be done at any cost. And Hindus who are in India, those who are looking for every small reason, they are looking, where is RSS, where is government, where is police? They'll come when you are killed. So it is high time. Please protect yourself. Please be prepared to protect yourself. I'll say again, yes, please make arrangements to protect yourself, your family, and your neighborhood. It is very important. Don't rely on anybody else. Rely on yourself.
The last point I would like to make is already gone beyond our time limit, but last point I'll like to ask you or discuss with you is that the globally, like you mentioned the last time also, yoga is beneficial to all, irrespective of everyone else. But there is a dharma for which yoga is done. So there is a purpose of yoga also. It is not just a exercise for increasing your sexual abilities or other things. It's just to, like in the American context, known in a completely different way. It's not like going to another spin class or it's or going to gym. So, but the concept of dharma is missed out, which is the building a righteous individual. And the word nuclear family used, it's again a Christian concept. It's not a dharmic concept, because Brahma wants you to produce more children who can follow dharma and propagate dharma. So again, it's a Christian concept where they want to control the population for maximum enjoyment for a few people. But that's not the purpose of the earth. Even today, earth is unutilized, land is unutilized for 35 to 45% of land. and the water is unutilized for almost 60 to 70% of the earth. So what do you want to add on this, please?
Look, as far as population is concerned, Hindus are the only one whose population is declining. Why it is declining? Because Hindus has been taught in such a way that no, you have to go in for a family planning. Bacche do hi acche. Who taught this? When you say bacche do hi acche, I'm telling you, you are actually killing Hinduism. You are actually killing the families. You're killing the generations. Why bacche do hi acche? If I'll ask you, if you have one kid, उस बच्चे के बच्चों का क्या होगा? Do they have, when will they be having any kind of chacha, tau, bua, mausi? No, you're killing the relations actually, and relations is the core of Hinduism. हम इसी पर टिके हुए हैं, हिंदुइज्म इसी पर है. Those people who say कि नहीं, दो ही बच्चे होने चाहिए, एक ही बच्चा होना चाहिए, यही होने चाहिए, वही होने चाहिए, मेरा उनसे एक सवाल है. हिंदी में इसलिए बोल रहा हूं ताकि हिंदुओं को ही इसको समझ में आए. मुझे बताइए, उस बच्चे का चाचा को, बच्चे का जो बच्चा होगा उसका चाचा कौन होगा? उस बच्चे का ताऊ कौन होगा? उस बच्चे का फूफा कौन होगा? उस बच्चे की बुआ कौन होगी? उस बच्चे का मौसी कौन होगी? ये रिश्ते कहां से आएंगे? ये क्या एलियंस लेकर आएंगे? इन रिश्तों को तो आपने मार दिया, इनकी भ्रूण हत्या कर दी. इसके बाद बचेगा कौन? और एक बात और बताता हूं, दुनिया में आदमी डरता उसी से जिसके पास पावर होती है. आप एक बच्चा लेकर बैठे, वो 6 लेकर बैठे, 4 बीवी, 40 बच्चे. उन 40 से कल आपने अपने बच्चे को लड़ने के लिए अकेला छोड़ दिया. कम से कम 2 तो और खड़े होते उसके बगल से. क्या लड़ेगा वो? आप लास्ट विकेट पर लड़ रहे हो, आपके पास एक ही विकेट है, उनको एक ही विकेट गिराना. उनका एक आदमी जेल चला जाएगा, फांसी चढ़ जाएगा, आपकी जनरेशन खत्म. और यही चल रहा है भारत के अंदर भी, यही चल रहा है. ये प्लानिंग के तहत चल रहा है. वो 6 बच्चों में से एक बच्चा निकाल कर रखते हैं, बोले इसको जेल जाना है, इसको फांसी होना, बस किसी भी कीमत पर जाकर ये जो एक जो बच्चा है इसको खत्म करो. तो इसकी जनरेशन खत्म, एक परिवार खत्म. मियां बीवी, पति पत्नी, 2 लोग, एक बच्चा. आपने अपनी जनरेशन को 50% से आपने अपने ग्रोथ रेट को कम कर दिया, 50% से सीधे. दूसरी तरफ 600% से बढ़ रहे हैं. कैसे रोकोगे आप? कैसे अपना धर्म बचाओगे आप? आपके पास कोई चारा नहीं है, आप अपने धर्म को नहीं बचा सकते. धर्म ऐसे नहीं बचता. धर्म बचाने के लिए भी तो लोग चाहिए. वो लोग कहां से हैं? वो क्या उड़न तश्तरियों से आएंगे? कैसे आएंगे वो? उन्हें तो आपने पहले ही खत्म कर दिया. इस मंच से मैं आप सबसे आग्रह करता हूं, आप बच्चों में कम से कम कोई रोक ना लगाएं, किसी भी प्रकार से ना लगाएं. नंबर दूसरा, यदि आपके पास पैसा है, यदि आप टाइम निकल गया, आप बच्चे नहीं कर पाए, कम से कम जीवन में एक प्रण तो लीजिए कि आप 6 बच्चों को पालेंगे. 1 या 2 जो आपके पास है वो है, 4 और आपको अभी पालने हैं. उनको फाइनेंस कीजिए. बहुत सारे गरीब लोग हैं जिनके बच्चे हैं लेकिन उनको पाल नहीं पा रहे हो. हम कम से कम कुछ नहीं कर सकते तो उन बच्चों को पाल तो सकते हैं. कम से कम वही कीजिए, इतना ही कर लीजिए. इतने में भी धर्म की बहुत हानि होने से बच जाएगी. अभी तो हमने बहुत हानि कर ली. हमारी जो पिछली जो जनरेशन है, हमारे पिछले जो डेकेड्स गए, जो 4 डेकेड्स 5 डेकेड्स पीछे अगर हम पलट कर देखते हैं तो हिंदुइज्म को बिल्कुल कीमा बना दिया, बारीक बारीक टुकड़े कर दिए हिंदुत्व के, हिंदुओं के. धीरे धीरे कानून सारे ऐसे बनाए गए, आपको राइट बताए गए, तुम्हारा ये राइट है, तुम्हारा वो राइट है. एक भी कानून ऐसा नहीं बना जो फैमिली को जोड़ता हो. सारे कानून तोड़ने वाले बने. हिंदू कोड बिल बना दिया आपने, हिंदू मैरिज एक्ट आपने बना दिया. हिंदू मैरिज एक्ट में शादी किसके कहने से होती है? कानून के कहने से होती है क्या? नहीं, कानून के कहने से नहीं होती, धर्म के अनुसार होती है. 7 फेरे लेते हो तो धर्म क्या कहता है? धर्म कहता है कि 7 जन्म का साथ है. तो डाइवोर्स कहां से आ गया? वो तो रो चाहे पीटो, आपको 7 जन्म तक आपको साथ रहना है. और जब आपको मन में ये कंसेप्ट क्लियर हो जाता है कि मुझे 7 जन्म तक साथ रहना है, तो झगड़े वगड़े होते रहते हैं, सब चलते रहते, जीवन हमेशा चलता रहता है. आपके दादाजी का कभी डाइवोर्स नहीं, लेकिन आपके मन में इसके बाद बैठा दिया गया रास्ता है, इसको टाटा बाय बाय करो, निकल लो पतली गली से. एक डाइवोर्स का रास्ता दिया पहले धीरे से, फिर डाइवोर्स में धीरे से और समझा दिया गया औरत को कि इससे भी काम नहीं बन रहा है, डाइवोर्स हो के भी झगड़ा नहीं हो रहा, तो लड़ाई कैसे? तो एक काम करो, तुम इससे प्रॉपर्टी मांगो, ये मांगो, वो मांगो, तुम्हारे इतने राइट्स हैं. अब वो प्रॉपर्टी के उसके दिमाग में फिगर भर दी गई. अब वो उसके लिए लड़ रही है। आदमी के दिमाग में भर दिया तुम क्यों दे रहे हो। दोनों को लड़ाने का जो सिर्फ लड़ाने का कुछ नहीं है। आप दोनों फैमिली के अंदर ही लड़ गए, आप बाहर कैसे क्या लड़ोगे। आपको बिजी कर दिया फैमिली के अंदर लड़ने में, ताकि आप बाहर नहीं लड़ पाओ, आप अपने धर्म का प्रचार ही नहीं कर पाओ। आपको वहीं खत्म कर दिया गया, आपकी फैमिली के अंदर ही आपको खत्म कर दिया गया। फिर भाई भाई के अंदर कर दिया गया। पहले फैमिली तोड़ी, फैमिली तोड़ने के बाद भाई की बारी आती, तो भाई से प्रॉपर्टी ले लो, भाई से झगड़ो, बहन का भी उसमें हिस्सा है, लड़कियों का भी, इसका भी, उसका, सबका हिस्सा। और पोट्रे उसको ऐसा किया गया, बड़ा एक भी कानून नहीं बता, कानून नहीं बता। सारे कानून वो लोगों ने चाहे जिन्होंने हिंदुइज्म को सिर्फ तोड़ना चाहा, सिर्फ बर्बाद करना चाहा, और वो उसमें कामयाब भी हुए। आज हम सब एक दूसरे से लड़ रहे हैं। बहुत हो चुका, हमको इन कानूनों से बाहर आना पड़ेगा, बहुत हो चुका। आप दूसरी तरफ अगर देखेंगे, मुस्लिम्स में अगर झगड़ा भी होता है, सर भी फट जाता है, कोई 307 का FIR कराने नहीं जाता, मुकदमे कराने नहीं जाता, वो उनके आपस में घर में निपटते हैं। सिर्फ 22 के आ जाने पर भी कोई MLC नहीं होती उनके। हमारे यहाँ गाली भी दे दो तो तुरंत थाने चले जाते हैं। हमको ये समझना होगा, सामने वाला भी हिंदू है, हम भी हिंदू है। हमको ये समझना होगा, हम हिंदुओं को एक साथ रहना होगा। हमारे पास कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है। अगर आपके पास में ऑप्शंस हैं, अगर आपके पास भगवान ने पैसा दिया, अगर आप 4 बच्चे, 5 बच्चे, 6 बच्चे, 8 बच्चे, 10 बच्चे, 12 बच्चे, 24 बच्चे पाल सकते हैं, भगवान ने आपको सक्षम बनाया है, मेहरबानी करके हिंदुत्व का नुकसान मत कीजिए। मेहरबानी करके ऐसा मत कीजिए। आपके इस रोकने से कुछ नहीं होने वाला, इससे सिर्फ और सिर्फ हिंदुत्व का नुकसान होने वाला। बच्चे प्रॉपर्टी जाएगी, तो मैं उनके लिए भी ऑप्शन दिया, सर लीजिए। हिंदुस्तान में, अमेरिका में, तमाम सारी जगहों पर हिंदू ऐसे हैं जिनके पास खाने को नहीं है, वो इस डर से बच्चे पैदा नहीं कर पा रहे। आप आइए, बाहर निकल कर आइए। और टंकी की से आपको एक सच्चाई बता, IAS IPS और जितनी भी सरकारी नौकरियों में सिलेक्शन, जो टफ सिलेक्शन है, जहां सिलेक्शन होता है, उसमें 98 से 99% बच्चा सरकारी स्कूल का होता, प्राइवेट का नहीं होता। फॉर गॉड सेक, कोई दूर स्कूल का बच्चा आज तक IAS बनता मैंने तो नहीं, बन गया होगा कोई इक्का दुक्का। छोटा नहीं हो जाता। भाषा अभिव्यक्ति का साधन है। मुझे आपसे पानी मांगना, मुझे वो मांगना आना चाहिए, ये भाषा है, इससे ज्यादा कुछ भी नहीं। लेकिन हम लोग किस में पड़ गए? किटी पार्टीज में पड़ गए, जो हमारा काम नहीं है, ये हम लोगों के लिए नहीं है। हम लोग इसलिए बच्चों को अच्छे स्कूल में भेजते हैं ताकि 4 लोगों के बीच में जब मेम साहब खड़ी हो तो ये कह पाए मेरा बच्चा DPS में जाता है। फुल फॉर्म पूछ ले तो मालूम नहीं है DPS का फुल फॉर्म क्या है, लेकिन कहना है DPS में जाता है। मेरा बच्चा अंग्रेजी बहुत अच्छी बोलता है, खुद को नहीं समझ में आ रही अंग्रेजी, लेकिन मेरा बच्चा बोलना चाहिए। ऐसी भाषा का क्या मतलब जो माँ को समझ में नहीं आ रही? अरे हमसे तो जानवर ज्यादा अच्छे हैं, बिना भाषा की एक दूसरे से अभिव्यक्ति कर लेते हैं और एक दूसरे से प्रेम कर लेते हैं। गाय को आपकी हिंदी और अंग्रेजी नहीं आती, बच्चा चला जाता है, गाय से मुंह लगाकर बात करता है, गाय पर लेट जाता है, गाय हिलती नहीं है। हमारी जो असली माँ होती है वो भी कई बार हिल जाती है, वो भी कई बार साइड में रख देती है, अरे बोले साइड में हट। गौ माता ऐसा नहीं करती। अभी कल ही मैंने एक वीडियो दिखाया, बच्चा गया और थन से मुंह लगाकर दूध पीने लगा, गाय हिली नहीं, बिल्कुल स्टिल खड़ी रही। उसे मालूम मैं हिलूंगी, मेरा वजन बहुत ज्यादा, मैं बहुत बड़ी हूं, ये बच्चा बेचारा दब के कुचल कर मर जाएगा। ये गाय की प्रवृत्ति है। उसी गाय को सबसे ज्यादा काटा जाता है। स्वामी विवेकानंद ने भी कहा था, जो सीधे पेड़ होते हैं वो सबसे पहले काटे जाते हैं। इंसान भी जो सीधा होता है सबसे पहले काटा जाता है। सीधे रहिए, सशक्त भी रहिए। सशक्त होना बहुत आवश्यक है। सशक्त आप कब होंगे? आपके पास जमीन ही नहीं है साहब। आप पेड़ तो बहुत ऊंचा बना रहे हो, बहुत ऊंचा बना, लेकिन जड़ नहीं है आपकी। जड़ तो आपकी जनरेशन से होगी। आपकी जड़ कहाँ है? जड़ तो आपने खुद ने काटनी शुरू कर दी। नहीं, ये तो बहुत ज्यादा बड़ी हो रही है, इसको काटो, कम करो, कम करो। फैमिली प्लानिंग, काटो 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 काटो, बच्चों को ही काट के खत्म कर दिया। अब आप किस आधार पर अपने परिवार को लेकर खड़े हो? आपका परिवार तो आपने पहले ही खत्म कर लिया। परिवार का होना पहली बात, सद्गुणों का होना दूसरी बात, शौर्यता का होना तीसरी और सबसे महत्वपूर्ण बात। बच्चा हो दब्बू ना, पिता भी दब्बू ना, शौर्यता के साथ, वीरता के साथ बात कीजिए। हम वो हैं जिसने इतने आक्रमण झेल लिए तो भी हैं, लेकिन अब हमारे पास जगह बची नहीं है। हम अफगानिस्तान से पिटते पिटते अब अफगानिस्तान से भी क्यों बात करें? तो हम जो बात कर रहे हैं वो तो भारत की बात कर रहे हैं, अखंड भारत की बात करेंगे, कंबोडिया तक चले जाएंगे। हमको तो जम्बू द्वीप की बात करनी। हम तो वहां से पिटते आ रहे, पूरे विश्व पर एक ही धर्म था। अरे मैं कहता हूं अमेरिका में जाकर जरा पूछिए 4000 साल पहले किसको पूजते थे, कौन सा धर्म था? कोई था ही नहीं, सिर्फ और सिर्फ सनातन धर्म था। पिटते 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 आप इतने से टुकड़े पर आ गए, 84, जिसका नाम है भारत। 7th लार्जेस्ट कंट्री बताया जाता है, कोई सी भी लार्जेस्ट कंट्री। तो आपकी स्थिति क्या हुई? कहां से कहां आ गए आप? सोने की चिड़िया से कहां आ गए? वो तो अब ठीक है, 14 से लेके अभी तक आपको फिर भी अच्छी जगह ले आया गया, वरना आप तो भीख मांग रहे थे कटोरा लेकर। अरे आपको अपना देश चलाने के लिए अपने देश का सोना गिरवी रखना पड़ा था। सच्चाई तो ये 90 के दशक हमारी ये हालत थी। पूरा विश्व हम पे विश्वास करने को तैयार नहीं था। जो विश्वास कहता नहीं नहीं भारत सब कुछ है भाई, आज पीछे खड़े हैं, आज अपने सैटेलाइट दे जाते हैं अरबों खरबों के, भाई साहब आप ही छोड़ देना, हमारे पास तो बूता नहीं है छोड़ने का। हम वहां से यहां तक की हमने सफर तय किया, हम और भी सफर तय करना चाहते, हम और भी आगे जाना चाहते, लेकिन उसके लिए हैंड्स चाहिए। आज हालत यह है, मुझे बड़ी शर्म आती है बोलते हुए, कि राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ, विश्व का सबसे बड़ा संगठन, उसके पास प्रचारक नहीं है। जगह खाली पड़ी है, 8-8 हजार प्रचारक चाहिए, है ही नहीं। क्यों? हमारे घर में एक ही बच्चा है, हम भेज ही नहीं सकते प्रचारक बन। भेजेंगे कैसे? जब प्रचारक नहीं होगा तो धर्म का प्रसार कैसे होगा? हमारे घर में कितने लोग ऐसे हैं जिन्होंने ये माना कि मेरा एक बच्चा जो है देश की सेवा में जाएगा, एक धर्म की सेवा में जाए? है कोई ऐसा? दे सकता है कोई धर्म की सेवा के लिए? ये साधु संत कहां से आएंगे? कौन पढ़ेगा कल आपके लिए गीता? अरे मैं तो साहब वो देखता हूं हिंदुस्तान के अंदर, मैं बता रहा हूं आपको क्या स्थिति है। यूट्यूब खोलकर वो लक्ष्मी माता की आरती लगा दो तो लक्ष्मी माता की आरती हो जाती। हमें आरती तक तो करनी नहीं आ रही। हमारी स्थिति इतनी खराब, जो यूट्यूब से आरती हो रही है, तब हमारा क्या स्थिति है? हमको खुद को सीखना होगा। गलत सही जैसा भी होगा, धीरे धीरे करके बढ़ेंगे, आहिस्ता आहिस्ता बढ़ेंगे। ये सब के लिए, ये सारे काम करने के लिए राष्ट्र निर्माण है, धर्म निर्माण है, धर्म युद्ध है। और युद्ध योद्धाओं से लड़ा जाता है, योद्धा तो है ही नहीं हमारे पास। तो सबसे जरूरी बात, सभी विश्व के अंदर जितने हिंदू हैं, मैं आपसे दोनों हाथ जोड़कर एक प्रार्थना करता हूं, और वो मेरी प्रार्थना ये, मेहरबानी करके ये बच्चों को मत मारिए, मेहरबानी करके इस हिंदुत्व को मत मारिए, मेहरबानी करके सनातन धर्म को मत मारिए। और अब जहां भी हैं, जिस जगह भी हैं, अपने धर्म का प्रचार कीजिए। आप अकेले तो भी कीजिए, लोगों को समझाइए। आप अकेले वहां युद्ध नहीं कर सकते, मैं समझ सकता हूं, तो प्यार से समझाइए, विनम्रता से समझाइए। और जब आपकी धीरे धीरे आपकी पॉपुलेशन बढ़ने लगेगी, आपको समझ में आएगा कि आप धीरे धीरे सक्सेसफुल हो रहे हैं। यह आपको करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि इसके अलावा कोई चारा नहीं है। और यही सच का मार्ग है, सत्य का मार्ग भी एक ही है, कोई दूसरा नहीं है। वो आप कितना भी चिल्लाते रहो, कुछ नहीं होने वाला। उनके धर्म ने क्या सिखाया? मारो काटो, तो आज एक दूसरे को मार रहे, काट रहे। हमारे धर्म ने क्या सिखाया? धर्म की संस्थापना करना, धर्म का वो होना, है ना? तो बार बार क्या कहते हैं, क्या कहा भगवान कृष्ण ने? क्या कहा? यदा यदा ही धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य तदात्मान सृजाम्यहम् परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे। आज धर्म की संस्थापन को दोबारा करने के लिए भगवान ने एक नेता के तौर पर आपके पास में एक व्यक्ति भेजा है। वो कर रहा है, उसके पीछे भी भेजे कुछ और लोग, और भी हैं लाइन में, वो भी कर रहे हैं। ये मौका हमको 100-200 साल में नहीं, 1000 साल में एक बार आया है। इस मौके को यदि हम खो देंगे, फिर कल आप कंप्लेंट मत करना। और जिनको ये लगता है कि नहीं पैसा ही सब कुछ है, वो आपकी इच्छा है, आप ऐसा सोच सकते हैं, फिर आप जाने, आपका काम जाने। लेकिन धर्म के बिना मैं नहीं समझता कि जीवन का कोई उद्देश्य, कोई मूल है। धर्म के बिना कुछ भी नहीं है। हम हिंदू हैं, हमें इस पर गर्व होना चाहिए, हम सनातनी। हम लोग इतने सारे लोगों से मिलते हैं, हम कभी धर्म की बात नहीं करते। हम कभी नहीं पूछते डू यू नो एनीथिंग अबाउट कृष्णा, डू यू नो एनीथिंग अबाउट लॉर्ड राम। हम कभी नहीं बोलते। मैं इस मंच से जग जाहिर तौर पर कह सकता हूं, दावे के साथ कह सकता हूं, आप में से जितने लोग देख रहे हैं, इनमें से एक ने भी कभी किसी भी नॉन हिंदू से नहीं कहा होगा कि आप हिंदू बनिए, हिंदू धर्म बहुत अच्छा है। आपने कभी हिंदू धर्म का प्रचार नहीं किया हो। जो हो गया उसको छोड़ देते हैं। अब हमें करना है, इस बात का निर्णय हम लेते हैं। और आज से अगर आप इस बात का निर्णय ले लेंगे, तो ये देश, ये समाज, ये पूरा विश्व तुरंत बदल जाएगा। बस आपके निर्णय करने की देरी है। आपने जिस समय निर्णय कर लिया उसी दिन हो जाएगा। असंभव कुछ भी नहीं है, बस तब तक है जब तक आपने उसका निर्णय नहीं किया। तो मेरा आप सबसे निवेदन है, हाथ जोड़कर निवेदन है, आप आज से, अभी से इन दो चीजों पर विशेष ध्यान दीजिए। एक, परिवार को मत मारिए, परिवार को जीने दीजिए। और दूसरा, धर्म का प्रचार गाड़ी में हो, एयरपोर्ट पे हो, कहीं भी हो, पूरी बेशर्मी के साथ कीजिए। आपको शर्म बहुत आती है, शर्म नहीं आनी चाहिए, पूरी बेशर्मी के साथ कीजिए।
बहुत बहुत अच्छा आपने बोला, और इस राइट मैसेज ऑल्सो, बिल्कुल सही है। क्योंकि अगर हम दूसरों को बताएंगे नहीं तो लोग हमारे जैसे बनेंगे कैसे? वेरी बड़े सिंपल सा आपने, वेरी मोटिवेटिंग। और आपने बहुत अच्छी बात बोली। एक मैं एक थोड़ा सा हिस्टोरिकल एविडेंस देता हूँ। काबुल में 6,000 मंदिर थे। काबुल में 6,000, वृंदावन से ज्यादा। और हेरात, जो अफगानिस्तान का नॉर्थ ईस्ट एरिया है, वहां पे 1910 में, 1910 1910 की बात कर रहा हूँ, वी हैड 7,600 टेम्पल्स। और इसलिए अफगानिस्तान वॉज अ रिच कंट्री। और आज सबसे पहले जितने भी जो हिंदू ट्रेडर्स थे, सबको कन्वर्ट कर दिया फोर्स करके, टैक्स लगाकर। भारत के जितने बिलियनियर्स हैं, अगर आप अपने धर्म का प्रचार नहीं करेंगे, आपका भी वही हालत होने वाला है। सो जस्ट अंडरस्टैंड कि अभी जब आपके पास धन है, धन से धर्म की सेवा होती है, और धर्म से धन की सेवा होती है। ये साइकिल है। और ये मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूँ, ये भीम ने अर्जुन युधिष्ठिर को बोला जब युधिष्ठिर उनको डांट रहे हैं। ठीक है। तो ये तो वी वी हैव टू, ये हमारे शास्त्रों में लिखा हुआ है। तो लेकिन और विद्या से विनम्रता अगर नहीं आई तो विद्या का उसका कोई यूज नहीं है। और विनम्रता से ही धन आता है। वेरी इजी प्रोसेस। बट एनीवे, थैंक यू सो मच नितिन जी। मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा है मैं आपसे 2-3 घंटे और बात कर सकता हूँ, लेकिन व्यूअर्स के लिए इतना थोड़ा ज्यादा हो जाएगा उनके लिए। लेकिन वी विल कम बैक अगेन एंड टॉक ऑन सम अदर टॉपिक।
फॉर श्योर, फॉर श्योर। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद
नमस्ते
आपको
एंड
भी।
थैंक यू।
बहुत बहुत नमस्कार।